Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my first Q&A video. Yeah, well actually, this is my second, but don't watch my first one. Don't watch it. So yeah, this is my Q&A video. If you guys want to do another one, just comment down below. Like, if you want to do another Q&A, leave a question down below. But yeah, so, I have a lot of freaking questions to answer. A lot more than I thought, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Alright, the first question is, how old are you? I am turning 16 next month. Yeah, I'm turning 16 next month. And for my birthday, my parents are taking me to Monsterpalooza. If you don't know what Monsterpalooza is, or if you've never been to California before, you probably don't know what Monsterpalooza is, but let's just say it's the best damn horror convention you'll ever go to in your life. So, yeah, we're gonna stay at a hotel and everything, so it should be really fun. What's your favorite fruit? My favorite fruit? Apples, bananas, grapes. I'm pretty sure one of those wasn't even a fruit, but yeah, those are my favorites. What's your favorite horror movie? My favorite horror movie... You know, I've seen and have so many horror movies, I don't really think I have, like, an absolute favorite. I'll tell you this, I'll give you my top 5 best horror movies of all time, or my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. Hatchet, Cabin in the Woods, any of the Saw movies, like, just... I'm gonna go ahead and say Saw 3 because it's my favorite. Saw 3 or Saw 2. Splinter. And I really liked Pan's Labyrinth, but that's not much of a horror movie. I'm on the bridge of thinking of The Hills Have Eyes remake, Midnight Meat Train, or Trick or Treat. I'm gonna go ahead and say Midnight Meat Train because I've watched that movie for as long as I've been into horror movies. So yeah, those are my top 5 favorite: Cabin in the Woods, Splinter, Saw 3 or Saw 2, Hatchet, and Midnight Meat Train. There you go. How much movies you got? He said, how much movies I got? Let me just show you how many movies I have. Here, you want to see? Come here, I'll show you. Here are all my movies. I have more right here. Oh, wait, no, it's not over. Here are my Blu-rays. I don't have a very good selection of Blu-rays yet, because I just started collecting them. And some right here. So, yeah. I have those, and all these. So, yeah. How many movies do I have? I have no idea. I have a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and estimate to about 400 though, because I counted one time. I was like a year ago, and I'm gonna go ahead and say 400. 350 horror movies, but 50 other like comedy movies. Yeah. How long do you think you'll be running this channel? As long as possible. I mean, I've been on YouTube for like 2 or 3 years, not with this channel, but I made other channels, so hopefully until the day I die. I mean, if I get a chance, I'd love making this stuff. Do you like horror movies from the 30s and 40s? You know, it's not that I don't like them, I just, like, I love, like, the Wolfman and the Mummy and, Frankenstein. I love all those. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I think that's 20s though. I love all that stuff, but I was just born in 97, like late 90s, and so my generation of movies, we got like 3D and full color and like CGI. So when I watch a movie back then, like it kind of bores me. Not that I don't like understand it or don't get the movie. It bores me. I can't watch it. Like, I don't know. It's not that I don't like them. I like watching them, but I'd rather watch like something newer. That's just me. But yeah, I'll watch them every once in a while. What made you want to start YouTube? I've been on YouTube for 2 or 3 years, probably. I made a first channel, like, 3 years ago. I made, like, a web series. Didn't work out too much. And then I made Joppa Videos, which is my main channel. And then I made this one. And then I made my brother one, where he does gameplays. So, I pretty much made 4 channels, 1 deleted. Yeah. My Joppa Videos channel, though, I was supposed to make comedy sketches. They don't turn out so well, so go check out my Joppa Videos channel on my page if you want to see some crappy comedy sketches. Would you ride a narwhal or a unicorn that shits butter? A narwhal that shits butter or a unicorn that shits butter? I'd rather ride a walrus that shits Pop-Tarts. That just sounds more awesome. If you had a neon elephant, what would you name him/her? Neon elephant, that'd be cool. I name it Leo. Boy or girl, I name it Leo. I don't know why. What's your go-to Halloween costume? What's your go-to Halloween costume? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like, what Halloween costumes do I prefer? What Halloween costumes have I worn? I don't know. But every Halloween I try to dress up, because many of you don't know, I write books. Like, I'm an author. I usually like to write horror novels or horror stories. I don't have any published yet. I'm still working on that. But, yeah, I write horror stories, and for every Halloween, I like to be a character from one of my stories. So say one of my stories is like about a killer doctor. One year I dressed up as like a bloody doctor, you know. So it's some like little traditional thing I do every year. I hope that answered your question. I'm pretty sure it didn't, but can you walk in high heels? Yes, I can. It's kind of difficult, but I can. Don't ask how I know that. Favorite person in the world? Don't have one. If you could be anyone, thing, person, character, animal, what would you be? Anything that flies. I've always wanted to fly. Even though I have a terrible fear of heights, I want to fly. Not like skydive or anything, but I just want anything that flies. I don't know. That seemed cool. Why don't you have Twitter? It's a long story. I'm not even gonna tell you right now. What do you plan to be when you grow up? Oh gosh. What do I plan to be when I grow up? Alright, we're gonna talk a while about this one. When I grow up, I wanna be well, let me first say this. When I was 2 years old, I loved to write. I love to write, draw, color, whatever. And then when I was 4 years old, just 4, I think I was 4 or 5, I made my very first book. Yeah, it was about dinosaurs. It's the crappiest book you'll ever see or read. I still have them. I have my first 2 books. Still have them kept away somewhere. But, yeah, so since then, I absolutely love to read books. Reading books is one of my favorite things. I have a whole box of my stories and books that I've written in my closet. I just have so much. I still do write some, though. So yeah, I love books. I want to be an author, and when I was about 8 or 10, I just started getting into, like, the filming and, like, movies. So, I also want to be a director. What I want to do is I want to write my books, and then I want to direct my movies based on my books. So, like, I want to be an author and a director, pretty much. I also want to be in a band, that'd be cool. But, yeah, so that answers your question. Where am I? Oh, do you like dolphins? Sure I do. What are the top 3 things you are most afraid of? Top 3 things I am most afraid of. Let's see. I mentioned this in my last Q&A, which you should not watch, by the way. Just watch this one. There is a SpongeBob episode that scared the living crap out of me when I was a kid. It sounds funny, but have you seen the SpongeBob episode where he breaks his butt? It's called I Had an Accident. In that episode, there's like a man in a gorilla suit, or a gorilla in that episode. And for the longest time, it scared the living crap out of me. I don't know what it was with that episode or that gorilla thing, but I've always had a fear of it, and I had nightmares for the longest time. Of course, I'm not afraid of it now, but that was creepy when I was a kid. Another thing I'm afraid of is a Twilight Zone episode. What's it called? Nightmare on 10,000 feet? 10,000 feet Nightmare or something. It's the one with like the little gremlin ape thing on the wing. To this day, that still scares the living crap out of me. I don't know what it is. It's the creepiest thing. Props on the Twilight Zone for that. And then another thing, I'm gonna go ahead and say, or pop-ups, or like jump scares on YouTube. Not like Ghost Car still kind of scares me, but other like really creepy videos like that, I can't stand watching those. I always get afraid. I do not know why. Like, I can watch any scary horror movie that ever came out, but I can't watch that stuff on YouTube. Some creepypasta stories also scare the living crap out of me too. To this day, like, God. Will you do the Chubby Bunny Challenge with a friend? I already did. I just didn't record it. It's pretty hard. This should make the video quite long. Not really. Do you own a palm tree? No, I don't, which is kind of funny because over here in California, it's filled with palm trees, or at least where I live. What is the square root of 144? Isn't it 12? I think it's 12. I'm not very good at math. I am terrible at math. Sorry, how old are you? People keep asking how old I am. I am 16. I am turning 16. I'm still very young. I'm very, very young. Will you do the Harlem Shake? You know what? On my Drop of Videos channel, I made a video back in December with a couple of friends. We made a video similar to the Harlem Shake, but it's not necessarily like it, but it's very similar. Go look on my Drop of Videos channel. I'll probably put a link up on it somewhere. But it's called I Don't Even. That's the name of the movie, or the video. I Don't Even is what it's called. Watch it. It's a lot similar. So, I guess you can say I already did do something like it. Who is better, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James? I'm not a sports fan at all. What is that, basketball? I think that's basketball. Yeah, I'm not a sports fan at all. Like, Anyways, yeah, I'm not a sports fan. It's like, I just can't, I don't watch sports that much. Do you watch football? No. Again, I'm not a sports fan. I don't like sports. I don't know why. I'm not very athletic. I'm more like artistic. I'm left-handed. So I can't even play sports. I'm not good at sports. I'm not gonna answer that. I'm sorry. Did you like Troll 2? Troll 2 is the best movie ever made. It's amazing. I have seen nothing like it. It's so great. Go watch Troll 2. You will be amazed. It is amazing. Call of Duty or Battlefield? Neither. I think both games are super overrated. I don't like those games. I'm not a big gamer either. I don't know why. I don't like to play video games. It's very often that I do, though. I'm gonna go ahead and prefer Dead Space. That's one game that I've played, or want to play. Michael Jordan or Bill Russell? Don't know, don't care. Don't watch sports. What's your favorite song? My favorite song? I don't have a favorite song. I don't think anybody really has a favorite song, more like favorite songs to listen to. I'll give you my top 5 favorite bands. Oh god. Top 5 favorite bands. All That Remains, The Devil Wears Prada, The Fall of Troy. I've been listening to La Dispute lately, so I'm gonna go ahead and say La Dispute and Korn. Korn is awesome. Korn. How many videos do you make weekly? I try to upload a video once a day, so I'm gonna go ahead and say 7 or more. Have you had a girlfriend, and if so, what was it like? I've had some girlfriends. 2 were long distance. That was because I was like 8 years old and an idiot back then. And then I had another one in the 8th or 9th grade. I think it was the 8th grade. Yeah. How was it like? Love. But I am currently single, so. How did you get into horror movies? I don't know. That's a tough question. It's kind of like asking, how did you eat your first food? Like, I ate it. I watch them. I don't know. One day I just woke up and I liked horror movies. Yeah. Yeah. I love them, so. Who are your top 5 favorite Scream Queens? My top 5 favorite Scream Queens, I don't know a lot of their names, to be honest, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Danielle Harris, Thora Birch, Brittany Murphy, that chick from the Hostel movies, I forget her name, but her, I'm gonna go ahead and say Elizabeth Olsen. I know she's not much of a Scream Queen. She's in Silent House. I thought she was really good in that, so I'm gonna go ahead and say her. I know there's a lot more that I know, but I just can't think of them at the top of my head right now. Which do you prefer, old horror movies or new horror movies? It depends on what you mean by old horror movies. Like, how old? Cause, again, I was just born in late 90s, so my generation of movies, they're all like, I only get to watch movies now, like, movies that just came out in movie theaters or movies that just came out on DVD. These are the only movies I get to watch, so I'm going to go ahead and say new horror movies, because that's what I mainly watch. Because it's just my generation, that's what movies are coming out now. I try my best to watch as many old horror movies as I can, but, yeah, I know. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Do you like metal music? Yes, I do. Metal, I like, the big 4. Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax. I saw Slayer and Slipknot play live at Mayhem last year. It was amazing. I loved it. That was my first concert, I think. Yeah, it was my first concert, and not just metal though. I like metal, screamo, rock, alternative. I've been listening to a lot of indie rock lately. Anything rock with guitar and drums. I cannot stand hip hop and rap music. I can't. I don't like that stuff. Anything that plays on the radio 500 times, I can't stand it. Usually it's all hip hop, so it makes me not want to listen to rap music. I can't stand it. But yeah, I listen to metal. I don't listen to like necessarily black metal where they like start wearing makeup. That's too extreme for me. I do, however, like Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth is I like them. What do you think of the Jaws series? I've only seen the first Jaws and a part of the second Jaws. I have not seen any of the other ones, but I did like the first one. So I can't really say what I think of the series. They made a fifth Jaws actually a couple years back called Jaws in Japan. And you wonder why I've never heard of it. It's terrible. What are your top 25 horror movie picks of all time? My top 25. I already gave you 5 of them. You know, I'm just gonna make a video of me telling you my top 25 favorite horror movies of all time, because this video is already too long and I don't feel like doing that right now, but I promise I will make a my favorite 25 horror movies of all time video. Do you play Xbox? If so, what's your gamer tag? No, I do not. Again, I'm not a big gamer. I don't like playing video games that much. My brother has an Xbox 360 and a PS3 though, so sometimes I like play on his things. I don't know what his gamer tag is though. I don't know what his gamer tag is. But yeah, it's very, very often that I play video games. What are 3 horror movies that you find genuinely scary? That's kind of funny, because there is actually 3 horror movies that I actually found scary in my life. One of them I actually have. Here, let me show you. I honestly don't know why this horror movie scared me so much, but when I first saw it, I was scarred. I don't know, man. It freaked me out. When I show you it, you're probably gonna think, like, really, that scared you? It did. It's The Orphanage. Del Toro movie. When I first saw it, it scarred me for life. Or not for life, but it's a creepy movie. I don't know why, but this is definitely one of the movies that I actually found scary, or that actually scared the crap out of me. I don't know a lot of movies that scared me, but this is definitely one of them. Another one, I know there's 2 more that just scared the crap out of me. I'm trying to think of, like, nightmares that I've had. Emily Rose, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and The Original Exorcist. Even though I haven't seen them yet, I still get scared of them. I can't stand, like, Exorcism. And another one, The Hills Have Eyes remake. That scared me, man. That was a pretty creepy movie. Like, what really creeped me out about that was the part where he's, like, in that abandoned little town, and he comes across that, like, thing in the wheelchair with the massive head. That freaked me out. There are other movies that scared me, but I can't think of them right now. I'll have to go back to that. What is the most adventurous horror film you have seen? Adventurous. Turistas? I don't know what you mean by that. When you are older, would you like to write, direct, or act in a horror movie? Or would you like to do all 3? Definitely all 3. Because I already told you, I want to be a director, and I want to be an author, so I want to write, I write my books, and then, write, and obviously direct my movies, so I want to write them too. But I've also want to act, not in just horror movies, but just in comedy movies too. I want to see how that's like, so all 3 of those, definitely. What do you think about downloading films from sites like Pirate Bay, and have you ever downloaded a film? No, I have not. I have not downloaded a movie on the internet or anything like that. I'm too scared to go on websites like that. I can't trust them. I'd rather just buy the movie, Be fair. My friend, he just does nothing but download movies online. I'm like, how do you do that? He has so much movies downloaded. But no, I have not, and I'm not really planning on to. The closest I'll get is to watch, like, free movies on YouTube. If you were able to save any character from death in a horror film, what character would it be? Hope I'm not too late. Didn't notice this until just recently. If you were able to save any character in a horror film, what would it be? the girl from Drag Me to Hell. Although that was a very hilarious ending, I kind of felt bad for her and the guy. That and the dad from Satan's Little Helper, like the part where he kills the dad in front of the family. That creeped me out. I kind of wish he lived. And then what's another one? What's his name from Hatchet? Joel Moore? I forget his name. It's Joel Moore something. You know who I'm talking about. The guy from Hatchet. Kind of wish he didn't die. I'd rather, I wanted him to live, so. Yeah, those are 3. What's your all-time favorite death scene in a horror movie? Easy. There is a movie called Deadly Friend. It's a Wes Craven film. It was made in the 80s, mid-80s. And what happens is this girl, she throws a basketball at this old lady's face, and her face explodes. A basketball. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Go on YouTube after this video. I will remind you. Go on YouTube. Type in Deadly Friend death scene. It's the first video that pops up. I'm pretty sure it is. Watch it. It's great. You will not be disappointed. What's your favorite Friday the 13th film, and what is your least Friday the 13th film? My least favorite Friday the 13th film is hands down Jason X. I don't know what happened to that movie, man. That was the biggest crap pile I've seen in all of crap piles. I did not like that one. Jason X was, I know it's trying to be like funny and be like a kind of had some humorous parts in it. It didn't work for me. It was just really stupid. They could have gone without that one. So definitely Jason X is the worst. And the best Friday the 13th film, and go ahead and say either the first one, the third, or the fourth. I'm gonna say the fourth, only because I have a shirt of it, and only because it's the one I think I've seen the most. So, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, for some reason is my favorite. Who are your top 5 favorite horror villains? My top 5 favorite horror villains? You mean like horror icons? Like, you mean like these things? Like these? Hang on. These are my top 5 favorite horror villains. No, these are actually the only toys I have, so, yeah, these. Oh, and Victor Crawley. Victor Crawley's definitely one of them. Oh, and Chrome Skull. Chrome Skull's definitely one of them, too. Oh, and Leslie Vernon. Leslie Vernon's one of them, too. Oh, and the Orphan Killer. The Orphan Killer's one of them, too. And Pyramid Head. Alright, I hope that answers your question. Alright, we have just one last one. Who is your favorite rapper? I don't like rap music, I'm sorry. I cannot stand rap music. Hip-hop, rap, no thank you. I don't have a favorite rapper. I'm more into, like, rock. I'm a rock kind of guy. I can't stand hip-hop. Anything that plays on the radio 500 times a day, can't listen to it. Can't stand it. I know of a couple of bands that rap that I like. Rage Against the Machine. I do like Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys an exception. Cypress Hill. I do like Cypress Hill, I'm gonna admit. And Atmosphere. I like to listen to Atmosphere. But other than that, I can't stand rap music. If you're talking something like Ludacris or Usher or Drake, no thank you. I can't stand them. But, yeah. those are all the questions, I think. Let me refresh the page, see if anybody else asked any questions. Nope, that's it. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching this very long video. I don't know why it was so long. But yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. Don't forget to watch the basketball video. Told you I'd remind you. Look it up. Deadly Friend Death Scene. But yeah, if you guys want to do another Q&A, go ahead and ask a question down below on this video. I'm down to do it, but if I don't get enough questions, I probably won't do one. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you guys want to do another one, leave a question down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye!